The cavalry troop type in Rise of Kingdoms is in a weird situation right now. This is going to be the video that's going to talk about it. We're going to talk about the marches you run. We're going to talk about the rallies and garrisons. We're going to go through all of it because there's so many different variables to it. And yes, Cav Simps, we are deprived. We don't even have 4 combo commanders in SOC that we can even run. We got a makeshift. Anyways, we're going to go through all of that, and we're going to go through the future of cavalry, what we're going to see. Okay, because later this summer, we should be getting our next Cavalry Commanders. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about the armaments and what they're going to do with Delta 2.0. So stick around while we go through it all. Cavalry right now. Hey everybody, I'm your boy War Daddy Chadsky. I do videos for Rise of Kingdoms all the time, and if you enjoy these videos, please throw a thumbs up, give it a like. Really helps out the videos, helps out the channel a ton, and if you're not subscribed, consider doing so. I gotta update this, man. I'm well over 80,000 subscribers. It doesn't cost you a thing. You can hit that subscribe button. Also, you can get alerts when I do content like this, and we're in the middle of our video giveaway for the month of May. I'm giving away $10 flux for every single video. All you have to do to enter to win is comment down in the comment section of this video, and then I announce the winners in the next video. So from our previous video, we're gonna pull this up. We're gonna go Toy Gaming. Okay, this is the video I was looking for presently. KVK just finished, and I'm so drained on speed ups. Thanks, Chad. This is perfect. I'm gonna have a card in the top. This is in reference to the video I released the other day that talked about the best ways to get your speed ups in off season, the best ways to focus that. So you got it, boy. Toy Gaming. And you get the $10 flex. Hit me up on Discord. Also, my Discord link is down in the description. So this is cavalry, guys. We're in such a weird situation, and I guess we don't have a troop type like cavalry because we have so many different kind of commanders that are still relevant today. That's why it's just so hard and so weird. Like literally, guys, I've got a Delta set, I've got a Wedge 2.0 set, and I've got an Arch set. Like, what are we doing here? And so I wish it was as clear cut as infantry. I wish it was as clear cut as archers, but it's not. Okay, infantry guys, because they came out with Smite Commanders before combo commanders, it was kind of weird because they gave us Gorgo, they gave us Luce a couple of years ago. And so they introduced the smite damage element of active skills, right? And how that's enhanced with normal damage. So we've got a bunch of smite commanders, right? Sun Tzu, BQ, Luce, CJ, of course, Gorgo, William Wallace. These are all smite commanders. But it was weird because they didn't give us the pincer formation until after Delta came out, which was weird. So basically what they did was say, okay, well, we're going to give you Smite Commanders, and then the formation comes out for actually enhancing Smite after the Delta formation. Meanwhile, you're not going to have the Commanders on the Cav side to even run combo. You're not going to have the Commanders to even run combo, and we still don't. But they gave us the Delta formation before the pincer formation. It just didn't make any sense. The rollout of that was just not very smart, okay? And so right now with cavalry, here's what we've got, okay? Your next gen SOC commanders, like SOC combo commanders, we've only got 2.5 of them. We've got Gang, who's a single target damage dealer, okay, and does a ton of healing. And he's a good commander. Like, he's not like some crazy must-max commander, but he's really good. And then we got Achilles, and we got him from the Song of Troy. We didn't even get him as a next-generation commander on the Wheeler MGE. And Achilles is busted good. I mean, he's must-max commander. I said he was going to be must-max when I read his skills. You got to interpret his skills at that time. And then he has shown up huge. And there's all kinds of utility for this guy because you can use him with a lot of different commanders and a lot of different things. And you kind of have to. And then we got Arthur. Arthur's been in the game, guys, for almost, what, 18 months? 16 months, like he's over a year old, and he's a combo commander and a skill damage commander. So he's like 2.5. We can't even use Arthur as a secondary commander and have him as combo. So that's it, guys. We've only got 3 or 2.5, really. And so it's just like, the game's got to catch up and the developers have to catch up. Now, one thing Cavalry does have is between Joan and Nevsky and being able to use Arthur as a secondary commander and Huo, we do have skill damage commanders that were getting completely obliterated. Okay, but then they gave us Wedge 2.0 and it revived commanders like Huo and Joan and Nevsky, and then being able to use Arthur as a skill damage commander. And that's what I did last KVK. I ran Joan with Arthur. I ran Huo with Arthur. And then I ran Gang with Achilles. And then I ran Attila and David. Like, I had to use a garrison commander. You can't run 3 Cavs right now and be in any sort of meta unless you got like crazy stuff, right? Unless you have like crazy armaments for like Arch, all right? And this is becoming more and more popular. And I'll get into that in a second. So as far as commanders go, we're kind of stuck. And the next Cavalry Commanders can't come fast enough. Well, we're getting ready to get the new Alp Arslan Archer Field Commander next week, right? And we're going to start the next generation of Archer Commanders in the MGE over the next 3 MGEs. And then they said we're going to have Leadership and Siege when it comes to the next release, which kind of sucks for Cavalry because we're delayed even more. But once we get the next commanders, and talking specifically about the commanders, there's all kinds of different ways to do it. And what's going to happen is that the skill damage Cavalry March at that point will die. It'll die officially. Officially. The skill damage Cavalry March will eventually die with the next round of next generation Cavalry Commanders, because we're going to get an AoE damage commander. Now, it might not be a circle AoE, but we're going to get probably something like Arthur, 3-target AoE. Arthur does a ton of damage, by the way, and he's going to last a long time. I've talked about this many, many times because a lot of people were saying, hey, Gang's great. I don't want to invest in Arthur. I'll invest in Gang. Well, let me let you in on a little secret. Arthur is going to last longer than Gang. In the meta. I'm just telling you, on a 2 March Cavalry meta, now we're talking a year or 2 from now, Arthur's going to last longer. All right. Still does a ton of damage, and he's got the instant proc combo off of his expertise. That's absolutely fantastic. Okay. And it just helps everything. He like transcends. He's kind of like a Luce when it comes to that. And so with the next Cav Commander, getting an AoE 3-target damage commander, which is what we're supposed to get, really it's on slate to. The previous generation of cavalry, infantry, and archers were all single target. Cavalry, you had Gang. Infantry, you had Sun Tzu. Now Sun Tzu's got some utility of actually being an AoE true damage commander that does his rage. So he's not really a single target damage commander. He's more of a single target damage and then provides AoE on a smaller damage factor, but it still adds up and it's still really good. And then we got Alp Arslan, who's coming into the game, and he's a single target damage commander, but then he does crazy debuffs. And he does a pierced effect that does more damage, kind of like Sun Tzu, to multiple targets, right? And so when we go to the next Cavalry Commanders, we're going to literally get into a situation to where the next generation of new commanders in the game, just in general, are going to be AoE. We're going to go through a whole cycle of AoE commanders. And when we do, we've now got some options, okay? Because we're going to be able to run Arthur and put Achilles behind him. Insane march. Like probably the most powerful march for cavalry that you can run, okay? And you got Gang and Achilles you could run. Okay, and that's an insane march. That's probably just as good as Arthur Achilles, kind of. It's just different. Okay, you got more sustain and stuff with the healing and the Starlight effect from Gang. But if we do have another AoE Cav commander, then now we can either put Achilles behind Arthur and then the new guy behind Gang, or switch those up. Put the new guy behind Arthur and Achilles behind Gang. And we truly have 2 bona fide next gen SOC Cav combo commanders, because right now we're just makeshifting, guys. We're just makeshifting, and you cavalry players know this. And listen, all of your complaining about it is warranted. It's justified because we're having to run commanders like Hector. Now, Hector's amazing, most versatile commander we've ever seen in the game. Garrison field, he's a smite commander, he's a skill damage commander, he's a combo commander, he does everything. But we have to use him to round out our cavalry marches right now. Of course, we used Philip forever. Arthur Phillip, people are still running it. It's still really, really good. Instant proc from Phillip's really good. Arthur helps with that. And then, of course, the buffing and debuffing Phillip does is amazing. But that's what we've had to do. We don't have any, we're not like infantry. We don't have just all these smite commanders we can go choose from. And it kind of sucks. So I feel you, Cav players. I'm one of you. And then the other facet to this is we got this dude right here, Attila. He's so unique. He's like a commander that runs a troop type and a damage type that's completely separate from all the other commanders because he does all normal damage enhancements. All normal damage enhancements. And when he does that, he can be paired in artifact KVKs with Luce. My Attila Luce is still to this day the greatest march I've ever run. Now it's slowed down over time, but for 2 years, it was like the best march ever. Okay, and more people are investing in Arch because Attila just unlocks when you have Arch formation and you're doing boost to normal damage. And you got Fearless, you're doing boost to normal damage. And you got Invincible. Invincible's so sneaky in the field, people don't realize how good it is. And so that more people are going to that. But the point is, like, we're still using Attila. He's like not a combo commander. Okay, and so from there, that's what we've had to endure as cavalry players, right? Or if you're running 2 or 3 cavalry marches. And that's one of those things that we have to get into and talk about. Now, a lot of people are kind of moving some of their wedge to wedge 2.0 and still running skill damage. And the fact that you can kind of mix and match, you don't have to do it all. The mechanic of this is that if you have Hunter, you can leave it here, and for Huo, probably not a bad idea. And then if you have balanced over here on wedge 1, you can move it to maneuver at ease. There's all kinds of different ways that you can do this when it comes to the skill damage marches. But once we get the new the next gen commanders for cavalry, the skill damage calves are going away. They're just going away. Unless you're running 3 or 4 calves and you're still running that, that's how that thing is going to work, okay? Now let's talk about the armaments real quick, because Delta has been really, really good. It was good when it came out. The only problem is we didn't even have any freaking combo commanders. It was so stupid. It was like, okay, we've got Arthur, but at the time, how are you can't run Arthur primary. And then they gave us Delta, and we started playing with it, and we're like, okay, Delta Phillips good, Arthur Phillips good, Arthur Williams good, like, but we don't have true bona fide combo commanders. Then they gave us Bertrand and said, hey, there's your other combo commander. It's like, dude, that's a K2 commander. And he just sucks. Like, oh my gosh, really? That's what you're giving us? But when it comes to Delta 2.0, you can bet, because they already forecasted, and just so everybody knows, Wedge was out first. Wedge is one of the legacy formations, right? So we got Wedge 2.0. Delta came out a good 8 months before Pincer. Delta came out in November of 2024. We didn't get Pincer until the summer of 2025. So about seven months, give or take. Okay, and so Delta should be slated as the new formation, or the new inscriptions we'll get for the Delta formation. And so from there, it would be fantastic, absolutely fantastic to get an upgrade. And that's probably what they're going to do with the next release of the Cavalry Commanders. Okay, and when they do, if you're sitting on your wedge set, let's say this is not Wedge 2.0, but Wedge, original wedge set, and you're still running your skill damage, and then you've got a combo set here, you're going to eventually move everything over to combo. Into Delta. You're eventually going to move everything over. But right now, as it sits, the special inscriptions are really, really good. I would say that they've kind of been caught up with now, because Pincer was so powerful, and now Wedge 2.0 is so good that this is probably the least of the 3 formations that's really, really effective. Okay, it's still really, really good. Like, it's fantastic. You got all 4 specials, it's good. Okay, and Steel Skin is one of the best flag slots you can get. It's really, really potent. Okay, and it's very, very tanky, and it's really, any kind of damage resistance is always good. So the armaments are in good shape. So it's coming, guys. When the new commander comes out, the armaments are coming with it. So just get ready for that, okay? What about, now that we've talked about the commanders for the field and we've talked about the armaments and the formations, what about the rally? Because that's what we're going to get next for cavalry, okay? I'll get into Garrison in a second, but on the rally, right now we're running Attila with Subutai. Again, Attila still cooking. Now, it's probably the worst of the 3 troop types for the rally right now. And you got to remember, Subutai's getting kind of old here, guys. He came out a year ago. We need a new one, or we need somebody to pair with this guy. Okay, we do have Achilles that we run behind Attila on counterattack and prickliness, and if you want to run those kind of rallies, okay, that are going into just high enemy threat territory situations that you know you're going to get swarmed. Achilles is good to put behind Attila. Subutai is good because he does enough damage and he does things with his combo and his kit that make it pretty good. Plus, it still eats archers for whatever reason. And we'll see about Hayam, the new archer garrison coming out, and Attila and his secret ninja 200 damage to archer buff that he gets. We've always claimed that because Attila, for whatever reason, just crushes archers. So we'll see if this comes back into play with Attila and Subutai. I think it probably will. It's going to be very effective against the archer garrison. Plus, the archer garrison is there really to counter Ivar and the infantry rally. So we're in that good situation there on the rallies, but we really need another combo commander to go with Subutai. But how do you do that? Are they going to give us another just straight damage combo commander, or are they going to give us a prickly commander like Attila? Man, what I wouldn't give for an Attila 2.0, just enhance the normal damage. It's already broken, but just enhance the normal damage, or give us Arch 2.0. I mean, hey, yo, come on, if you're going to go this route. But we truly need another high damage commander. The only problem that I have with this, and it's the same issue we're getting into, the swarm meta is so powerful in Rise of Kingdoms right now that if you don't have any sort of kickback damage, like it's almost like you can't run it for rallies and garrisons. It gets swarmed down way too easy. So hopefully they give us a commander that can pair with Subutai and run max damage and still have enough kick out damage or be tanky enough. I don't know how they're going to do that, but that's one thing I think that we need. Okay. And another thing to consider, it doesn't necessarily have to have the combo tree. Let me kind of help everybody explain. Like, I don't even have Ivar unlocked on this account. Holy jeez. But Ivar has the defense tree, guys. He doesn't have the smite tree. So now they've set that precedence to where they can give us a new rally or garrison commander and not give us the tree for smite or combo. They can give us the defense tree. Well, that might be something to consider when we get another Cav. If we get another Cav rally, I don't think they'd give us the support tree. But maybe they give us the defense tree, and you can run that with Subutai. So we'll have to wait and see. I'm going to guess it's going to be crazy overpowered. It's going to counter anything that you put out there as far as some of the garrisons. But we're going to be in a situation where we're still kind of trying to figure out, okay, are we going full DPS all in damage to the garrison with no prickliness? We're going to get swarmed down every time. Or are they going to be more balanced? Or is it somebody that ramps up normal damage that you can put with Attila? Holy jeez. Okay. So that's where we're at with the rallies. All right. Now, garrisons we're still a ways away from because we just got David. All right. But we're still stuck in that situation. We don't even have 2 combo garrisons right now. All right. Infantry does. Got Gorgo and Toku. But we have to either run David with Hector or we have to run Attila and David. Now, Attila, more effective on the garrison side than the rally side now because the Attila David is the only S+ tier garrison in the game right now. And that's more at the A seed and the Silver Imp and Gold Imp level because there's so much swarming going on. But Attila David is like the only thing you can run that's not going to get just completely wrecked by the rally and can punish swarmers. Everything else you run with the garrison is getting completely wrecked. You're either doing well, like if you got Gorgo Toku, you're going to do well against the rally, but against the swarm, Gorgo Toku is just going to get absolutely obliterated. All right. You could run Martel and you can run Gorgo Martel and kill the swarmers and have a really good report against the swarmers, but the rally is going to eat you. Oh my God. So in reality, the Attila with David is like the only option we really have. And so it's good. So you're in the heyday right now, Cavalry players, of having the best garrison all around. All right. But we really need another combo garrison commander. And so that's the thing. We're just lacking commanders. And it's so hard to do. So with that being said, we talked about the field and what we're going to be able to do. We talked about changing skill damage to Delta when Delta 2.0 comes out, what kind of commander we need with the new next generation Cavalry Commanders. We talked about the armaments and how Delta is going to change over to Delta 2.0, and we're going to have new inscriptions for that. So we're going to get all this Cav Simps, and it's coming. Now, I say Cav Simps. Everybody runs like at least one Cav, but most people run 2 or 3 Cavs. Like most people in the game, the overwhelming majority of people in the game that run multiple marches run 2 Cavs. And so we're all in this together. Like we're all helping together. And so after reviewing the commanders in desperate need of another field commander that's a next-gen combo commander, we need a new rally. We need to figure out how we're going to incorporate Attila or just keep Attila the same. You just use him in weird situations that work exceptionally well. But this right here is becoming more mainstream. I told you it would. I told you guys, like eventually if you're running 2 Cavs or you're running 3 Cavs and you're moving around different things with your inscriptions, people are getting 10, 15, 18 special inscriptions total. You start working on an Arch Cav set because still to this day, Arch for Attila just unlocks him. It's crazy. You run it in the field. Attila Achilles, I run all the time. It's amazing. I like running Attila with David because I love the 4 skill of David where the target takes more combo damage. And so if I'm going full combo marches, 3 combo marches, I love running David in the field. But Attila Achilles, oh my God, don't knock it till you try it, boys. Don't knock it till you try it. Okay, and so you got to run it with Arch. If you run it with Delta, it's okay, but not near as good. Arch unlocks Attila. Anyways, if you guys enjoyed this video, please throw a like on here. Help us out. Hope you guys got something out of this over this weekend. Hope you guys have a wonderful Saturday. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you may be. And we'll see you later, broskies.